Happy Monday, everyone. We are right in the middle of Unit 2 in our early Latin American history class. I've enjoyed working with a few of you on Twitter this week. There are still a couple of you that I haven't yet found there, and I've emailed you about this as well. So please do let me know as soon as you can how to find you on Twitter, either by mentioning me in a tweet at CNN Brandon, or by sending me an email that includes your Twitter name, your Twitter handle. So that will help us get off on a better foot there. Also, last night was the due date for the reading questions on the discussion board. And again, you can check the discussion board guidelines, Netiquette guidelines, available through the syllabus as well as through the syllabus tab here in Canvas to review what you need to do for those. Most of all, what you need to do is just ask a couple of questions, things that you were wondering about um, based on the reading, or you can ask questions that ask others to compare and contrast different groups of people, such as the Mayans and the Aztecs, for example. Um, that's one way that you could go. But try to be as detailed as you can in terms of explaining, this is what I'm asking about. These are the events, the groups of people, and this is, you can even point to some of the readings and say this is where I was reading when I had this question. The idea is to ask questions that will invite discussion and conversation from the rest of us. So please avoid questions that just ask for a date or a fact, but instead ask questions that will require some interpretation and some synthesis or putting things together in order to really answer them well. Also, something that I've noted already on the discussion board this morning is try to avoid counterfactual or hypothetical questions. They actually make good, or they're good for conversation, but they're not good for generating discussions based in evidence from course materials. So again, it is always very interesting to ask, what might have been if history had played out in a different way. Again, if the Aztecs beat Cortez, what might have happened then? Very interesting question to think about and talk through. But just because they don't invite us to ground our responses in evidence. That's why I ask you to avoid them for the discussion board. So there are a couple of you who are already submitted your questions by last night's deadline. If you have not yet submitted those questions, please do so as soon as possible. This is the second unit, but this is the first unit where we're kind of getting into the regular way things work in the class. I'm happy to work with you a little bit on those due dates this first time around, just because we're all getting used to how things work. So please ask questions, whatever questions you have, and submit those reading questions on the discussion board as soon as you get the chance.